All right, welcome to class. As you can see, we're doing numbers. The one who requested this is not even on this class right now, but it's all good. So numbers 1 through 10. Before we get into that, and one of the questions, of course, that we're going to be asking, perhaps if this was obvious or not, is how old is? Okay? How old is? I'm going to be asking how old people are. So let's get right into the numbers though before we learn how to say that question in numbers greater than 10. I'm pretty sure all of you guys might be already familiar with these because of um, the ones on this class, but I think as always, it's always good to have reviews and whatnot. So the numbers 1 through 10, like for example, you guys know these numbers, right? 1, 2, 3. Sumut Wahat Pahit. To form the numbers by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you're going to drop that suffix U, Y-O-O. You drop it. So you're left with just these group words for 1, 2, and 3. Suma, Waha, and Fahi. Okay, and in place of that suffix Y-O-O, you're going to add this other suffix, Mano-yu. 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 That indicates by tens, okay? By tens. So, how can we say 10, 20, 30, 40, etc.? Let's look at that. 1, suma, to say 10, we learned this last spring. Suma mano yu. Suma mano yu. 20 would be waha mano yu. Waha mano. Waha mano. That's 20. 30, Pahimano. 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 40. Watsumano. 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 And 50. Manigimano. 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 And we got 6, 7, 8, and 9. For 60. Napahimano. Napahimano. 7, Nadakutsumano. Nadakutsumano. There's a lot of writing if you're writing notes. Nadakutsumano. 80, Wogosakwimano. 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 And finally, 90, Simakarupmano. 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 Making sense? I mean, it's just very simple. You take that root number, whatever the root word for the number is, and you just add mano to it. That's how you form the tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all the way to 90. Any questions before I move on? All right, then. So the first question, which I'm actually going to save for the end, but to ask, how old are you? Ha no utomo. Ha no utomo, which is, how old are you? Ha no utomo. Let's break this down. That first word, ha no. Ha no is a quantifier. Okay? It indicates the quantity of something, or when asking the question, meaning basically how much. That's one of the meanings it can have, is how much. Ha no. Ha no. We know the second word is you. So this last word, tomop, tomop, derives from the root word tomo, which is winter. Tomo, winter, can also refer to year, winter or year. And this final suffix pu is what's known as an aspectual suffix that indicates completion. Okay, it indicates completion. So literally, this is kind of like asking how many how many years have you completed? What's the quantity of years or winters that you have completed? Okay, but of course, in English, the equivalent is just simply, how old are you? Okay. But again, like I said, we're going to save that question until the very, very end. We're first going to start with this other similar question, which is ha no tomopu ishu blank. Ha no tomopu ishu blank. And if you've been studying and whatnot, you should probably already be able to know what this means. You're asking, how old is this blank? So, for example, if I wanted to say, how old is this girl? It's ha no tomopu ishu tsua. Ha no tomopu ishu tsua. How old is this girl? Ha no tomopu ishu tsua. Remember, ishu means this. Ishu. So how old is this? How many years does this girl have? What's the quantity of winters that this girl has? And the answer, of course, I'm sure you could figure it out too. By now is ishutsa blank tomo. Ishutsa blank tomo. And in the blank, of course, is where you will fill in how old he or she is. Okay? Ishutsa blank tomo. So we're only going to focus on the tens, counting by tens for the time being. I'll save all the in between for later. So let's practice these ones. Okay. So if I start, I'm gonna let you guys do some. I'm gonna call on like someone and then ask how old is this boy. You give me the answer, and then you can call on someone else to ask them the question. To have a question and answers. We can all practice asking the question and also answering. So, Thatch, you are number one.
Is my mic working? Oh, look. Hooray. Okay.
So, ha no tomopu ishu natsu.
Issue Nazi. How did you say 10 again? Just regular 10. No.
Sumu is the root word for one, right? Sumu. And then you add the suffix mano yu. Sumu mano.
Sumutmano.
Yeah. So say it again. Ha no tomopu ishu natsu.
Nazi. Sumu. I got it.
Mano yu.
Okay. Nazi. Sumutmano yu. Tumupu.
Ja. Right. And then you can call on someone else. Ask them the question.
Okay. Dylan, you're on my screen.
Uh,
Uh, Hano Tumupu Ishu Tsua'a.
issue to submit mana yutumapa.
Ja. Doing.
All right. Chrissy? Is it Chrissy?
Yeah.
Okay. Ano tumopa issue tuibitsi.
Ishu dwibitsi waha manoyu tomopu.
You.
Ja.
Okay, let's see who's in here. Panka, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hano tomopu ishu. What is this, young woman? Suwadama.
Ishu Tsuwarama Bahamano you Tumopa.
Uh-huh.
Ja.
Yeah.
Your turn, Punka, to ask someone.
Okay. Can I ask that?
You sure can.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Hanano. Wait. Yeah. Hanano. Tomopo. Ishu. Nana.
Sunana. Pahit you mano you. No, no. I just added on to it. Pahit man. Pahit mano you. Tamo.
Uh-huh.
Hima no ito. All right. Back to you, Thatch.
All right. I'm gonna go backwards. So back to Panka.
Oh man.
Um, Ano tumupuso magot ni?
Ishu Magotni. Pahima no you. Tomopo.
Yeah, and just one quick thing on the word for how much. Remember, it's hot no. Hot no.
No.
Hot no.
Claro.
Hot no.
Hot.
Yeah, hot no. All right, then Panka, go for it. Ask someone.
Chrissy?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh man. I keep forgetting how to say man for some reason. Anyways. Hanano. No. Hanano.
It's hot no.
Tomo.
Remember,
Oh.
hanano means when. Hanano is when, but you want to ask hot no.
Okay. Hot no.
Mhm.
Let me see. Hot no. Tomo. Ishu. Nana.
Ishu nana watsukwi mano yu tamopu.
Uh-huh.
Watsu manoki. Yeah, watsu manoki.
Oh, watsu. Wala yo. Okay. Dylan,
Huh?
hot no tamopu ishu magotni.
Ishu Magotni, what's up, Mono, you Tomopa.
Hmm.
Bija.
Josh, hot no, Tomopa, Ishu Nana.
Ishunana manigi mano yutomo. Dylan, back to you. See, we're getting a lot of practice.
What?
Not Dylan, I meant to say Panka. Sorry.
Banka.
Panka. Panka.
Yeah.
All right. Panka. Ha no tomo ishu mogotni.
Ishu Magotni. Mani. Manoyu.
Tomo. Mogotni manigi mano yutomo. All right, Panka, you can ask me
Oh,
now.
Tomopo. Okay, let me ask someone else. Let's see. Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay. Ha no Tomopo Ishu Nana.
Ishu Nana, Napai, Mono, you Tomopa.
Mhm.
Thatch,
Yep.
no, Tomopa, Ishu Magotni.
Ishu magot ni na pahit manok yung tumupo.
Aha, na pahimano yutomo. Ja.
Chrissy.
Uh-huh.
Uh, pa Oh wait, I want to make sure I get it right. So, no, tumopu issue, white.
Issue waitsi nadakwatsu mano yu tomopu? Or is it nadakwatsu gui?
No, you said it right. Narakwatsi mano.
Okay, nadakwatsi mano yu tomopu.
Um,
Okay, let's see here. All right, Thatch, I'm going to ask you.
All right.
Ha no tomopu issue biawabi.
Issue POAB narakatsukuyu sumuk manoyu. Tumuk.
you added the u suffix, which was unneeded, but it still makes sense. But narakwatsu mano yu. Narakwatsu mano yu. Narakwatsu mano yu. 70. Narakwatsu mano. Thatch, go for it.
I guess Hunka.
Hello. Ah,
Hello. No, tumopu issue waiti.
issue waitsi. Um, Wokuo mano yu.
Wosakui mano yu.
Wokuo suki mano yu.
Wosaki. Or yeah,
Okay.
the pyramid, like yeah, you guys pronounce it that with more of a K sound. So yeah, wokwo
Mhm.
mano. Wokosaki. Yeah.
Do I gotta ask one now?
Yep.
You. I'll choose you.
Okay.
Now, okay. Ha no tomopu issue. Is it Piowabi?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yawawi wosaki mano. Tomok.
Mm-hmm.
I almost fully and Dylan. Ha no tomok shuaitsi.
Issue white samakaru manayu tumoppa.
Yeah.
Kasi ano tumoppa issue POAB.
Issue biawabi tumukaropu mano yu tomopu.
All right. And finally, word for 100. There are actually a few different words, but I think the simplest one that is used is baba mano yu. Baba mano yu. Baba mano yu. Baba mano yu. I think you guys know baba means big, right? Baba is big. So baba mano yu just basically saying that big number, which is 100. I know, like from another way from the Yerington dialect, they just say sumumano mano yu. So you got your sumumano for 10, and then you just say once again mano sumumano mano yu. But baba mano yu is an I think it's simple and common. There was another way of saying it that I read years ago, and it referred to a can that was filled with like buttons or something, because they would use that as a form of payment, and it represented 100, but I can't remember what that is right now. But anyways, baba mano is a simple way of saying 100. So let's get into learning the in-between numbers now. 11, 12, 24, 38, and etc. Now this varies between dialects. It's not entirely, they're not all the same, but they are still very, very similar. I'm going to teach it, of course, the way I learned it from Harold Miller, who was from Walker River, enrolled member of SURES. So let's start with 20. Remember, this is 20. Wahama no yu, by way of an example. Wahama no yu, 20. Once again, you want to drop that "u" suffix at the end. Y-O-O, you drop it. So now it becomes just simply wahamano. Wahamano, okay? That's 20. The bare root stem for 20, wahamano. And then you add this longer phrase, okay? Blank ma tsipugid. Blank ma tsipugid. Basically what they're saying is this is 20 with blank added on. 20 with blank added on, and in the blank is where you'll add your additional number. So if you want to say 21, you would say wahamano sumumatsipugid. Wahamano sumumatsipugid. Because remember, sumu is the root word for one. So that's what you add, sumu. Wahamano sumumatsipugid. 21. So let's break this one a little bit down more. That suffix ma can have the sense of on. Okay, it can have different senses depending on context, but here it has a sense of on. So again, you're adding the number 1 on to 20. So that's what that ma signifies here in this kind of context. And that last word, tsipugi. So tsipugi, the verb, that's a verb. Again, also can have different meanings depending on context. It can indicate coming out or going out, but here in this sense of, it has a sense of being added on to something else. Again, adding on to 20. And that last suffix, du, is one that we've encountered many times. It's to use a fancy words in linguistic terms, it's known as a nominalizer. Basically, it changes verbs to nouns. Okay, it changes verbs to nouns. So by suffixing this to the verb tsipugi, this entire phrase now functions as a noun, or more specifically as a number, rather than just a verb. So altogether, wahama no sumama tsipugi means 21. Literally 20 with 1 added on, but in English it's simply 21. Okay, so here's all of your options now on your right hand side of the screen. These are all the options that you can have to add onto that middle, the blank, to say the numbers 21 through 29. Okay, so let's kind of let's practice this a bit more. So if you wanted to say 22, it would be wahamano wahamatsipugid. Wahamano wahamatsipugid. Wahamano wahamatsipugid. All right, now I'm going to ask someone like Chrissy, how would you say 23?
Wahama no pahimatsipugido.
Ja, yep. Which I have here on the screen now. Wahamano bahimatsipugid. That is 23. Wahamano bahimatsipugid. Dylan, how about 24? What would you say to that?
Wahamano watsumatsipugira.
Yeah. Yeah. Wahamano watsumatsipugid. 20 with 4 added on. Nishi Panka. How would you say 25?
Wahama no manige matsipugido.
Yeah. It is
Yay.
no manigima tsipugire. Good job. Wahamano manigima tsipugire. 25. And thatch, how about 26? How would you say 26? Thatch is no longer there, apparently.
I forgot to unmute.
Oh, there you are.
My bad. Wahama no na pahima seppukido.
Ah, napa himatsupugire. Wahama no napa himatsupugire. 26 or 20 with 6 added. Back to Chrissy. How would you say 27? I just gave you the answer.
27 Wahamano Nadakwat Sigwi Matsipugido.
Yeah, actually, I typed that wrong. We don't need that gui on there. You can just say nadakwatsim.
Oh, okay, Wadakwat Suma.
Yeah, nadakwat.
Tipugido.
Yeah, that one's a little different
Wadakwat.
because you can drop off that. Like I said, normally you only drop off the U, so you would expect this to be correct, but you can drop that one off. Yeah. That was my what do you call it? Editing error. Adakwatsi matsipugide. 27. And then so Dylan 28 would be what?
Wahamano o kosakurai matsipugire.
Aha. Wahamano wobosuki matsipugide. Wahamano wobosuki matsipugide. 29, I'm going to say it myself. This one is a little different too. You can just remove the PU. You can say the PU at the end of it, but you can also drop it and just say Wahama no sumakaru uma tsipugide. Wahama no sumakaru uma tsipugide. But again, you can say it as well. You can add it. It's fine too. Wahama no sumakaru uma tsipugide. But when you're saying those things kind of fast, you can kind of just omit things. They drop out. Wahama no sumakaru uma tsipugide. 29. All right, then it's time to practice asking how old we are. I know a lot of in modern society, people don't want to share their age if they're getting older, but my opinion, the status of being an elder is an honorable thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. So we shouldn't be ashamed of sharing our age. It is a beautiful thing to grow old and gain wisdom and whatnot. So, but all of us here, I think we should be fine with that. So Hatno, remember, they're asking how old are you? Hatno, utomop. If you want to say how old I am, it would just be like what you see here in the bottom. Ne blank mano blank ma tsipugitomop. So basically you're just adding everything, filling in the numbers that you are there in the blank. So what I would say is what you see here. Ne watsuma no sumamatipugitomo. I am 41 years old. Ne watsuma no sumamatipugitomo. I am 40 with 1 added on. Ne watsuma no sumamatipugito. Panka, you got a question?
Yeah. How do you say if you're 10 or like you're any other number below?
Aha. So tell me in English. Hatno utomop.
I'm 10 years old.
How old?
10.
Okay. So then, yeah, you would just say ne sumumano tomop. You can ignore this middle line with the sumuma tsipugi, and you would just say ne sumumano tomop.
Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. But for all of us, if you have any numbers in between the tens, yeah, we add that second line there. So I am ne watsuma no sumumatsu fugi tomo. I am 41 years old. All right, then so I'm gonna ask Anka, since you were just asking, I'm gonna start with you. But now you can answer me in Numu.
Okay.
Ha no ue tomo.
Okay. Ne, you just say like, yeah. Sumuma no tomopa.
Ja, yep. Ne sumuma no tomo. I am 10 years old. Ja. All right, Punk, now you can call on someone else to ask the question. Ha no ue tomo.
Okay. That.
Yep.
Okay. Ha no tomopa.
Nu pahi pahi mano yo sipugi.
Oh, oh.
30 years old. Ne pahima no tomo. No pahima no tomo. Yeah, you
Pahi man
wait. You can say it
pahi mano.
other way. You can say ne pahima no tomo or ne pahima no tomo. Same with Ponta. You can say ne sumuma no you tomo or just sumuma no tomo. Because in normal speech, that's how it is. You know, you can drop certain suffixes, which because it's you can understand it. Just like in English, we get lazy at times with certain way of saying things. Like if we say I wanna go instead of I want to go. Same way with Numu. You can drop certain suffixes here and there, and it's perfectly fine. All right, so Thatch, you can ask someone else.
Yes. Dylan. Ha no utemoto.
Ne pahi mano tomopa.
You guys are the same age. All right,
All
Dylan.
right, who's left? Chrissy. No tomopa.
Nu watsuma no pahi matsipugi tomopo.
Oh, really? I thought you were younger than me.
Mm.
Well,
Kai.
you look good for your age. I thought you were in your 30s.
He shot you. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I'm going to ask that again. That hot no utomopo.
No pahi mano yo sipugi.
You don't, that one is only if remember, you add that one if you're in between the tens.
Oh wait, only in between.
Yeah.
Mixing everything together again. So I would just say tomoto.
Aha. Ne pahima no itomo. Ne pahima no itomo. I am. All right. Let me switch it up here. Let me see if you guys can figure this out. I was expecting a lot more people in this class, so I was thinking time would go by. So this is all I had. But so I'm gonna wing it, and I'm gonna ask you guys something else. See if you can answer it. So let me see. Chrissy, hot no tomopu yeah. Hot no tomopu yeah.
Ipia. Let's see. Ipia napahi mano manigi matsipugi tomopo.
65.
Ha.
So I asked her how old is her mom. Hot no tomopu yeah. How old is your mom? She said 65. Apahi mano manigi matsipugi. Not like mano manigi matsipugi. Sorry, got a text. All right then. So Dylan, hatno tomop, hatno tomop na.
Ina minigi mano yutumopa.
Oh wow,
Gospel.
he's young.
Uh-huh.
So 50 years old.
Mhm.
He catch hatno tomop. Who should I ask? Hatno tomop uwanga. Guanga hatno tomop guanga. Do you remember that word?
Is that like, it's not my grandmother.
Ay. Hatno tomop guanga. Guanga.
Is that like uncle?
Ay.
I have no idea.
Hatno tomop.
Yes, mira cuánto.
That is your younger brother. Guanga.
Oh. Uh, I think he's 21. Okay. So, how did you say younger brother again?
So by itself, younger brother is wanga. Wanga. But when wanga follows the W, the induces fortition, so it becomes guanga. Guanga. Hot no, guanga. But for for my brother, you'll just say wanga. Wanga. My younger brother.
Okay, so E will not lahat yeah, I think it's just lahat mano sumu ma si ukido.
21 years old,
Yes.
right? Then let's see. Oh, Punka. Punka. Did you raise your hand
Oh
again?
man,
Was that from earlier?
I don't know how to take it off.
Okay, no worries. So then Punka hot no tomopu hama'a. Hot no tomopu hama'a. Do you remember that word?
How old is my older sister?
Dija. Sogi.
E hama'a. Sumumano Hahimati Bikatsu?
13?
Yeah.
Okay, sumamano pahimatsipu. Tomop. 13 years old. Ja. All right then. Cool, guys. Well, that was fun. We'll go ahead and I guess end it early there. So hope you learned some things. It was a good time practicing with y'all. Thank you very much for being here. If you have any questions, as always, I'm here. If not, I'm a bonito. See you all later.
Konnichiwa.
Mabinido wa.
Need to walk.
Peace. All right.